Hello and welcome. This is Project Healing Waters, Fayetteville, North Carolina program, and today's fly is the Rainbow Warrior. The material list that we're using is UMPQUA, X-Series hook, jig hook, size 16, tungsten slotted bead, hook size 12, 14, 16, Ultra Thread, 6/0, color red, Mirage Tinsel, OPAL large, Ultra wire, silver, size small, Coq de Leon, color brown, that's for the tail. And for the dubbing, we're going to be using Rainbow Blend, solid black. For the class, we used olive, purple, and yellow. Any color can actually be used. Okay, so let's get started. First you want to do is you want to take the hook and put the slotted bead around it. And I like to point it down a little bit, which keeps the bead on the eye of the hook. Second, what we want to do is we want to take our thread and wrap it and lock in the tail and then remove the tail. We don't have to build a thread dam for this bead. For the amount of material we're going to be putting up behind the bead. Next, what we want to do is we want to get the Coq de Leon and we want to pull off 5 of the fibers. And usually you come up with to the tip of the feather, and we're going to pull off 5 strands. That looks about it right there. And be careful with these fibers, because if you lose them, you're not going to get them back. They're really, really difficult to work with if you get them out of order. So what we want to do is we want to take these fibers and we want them off. Oops, that was very tricky stuff. Okay, about 1/4 inch off the back of the hook, and we're going to tie it in. So we'll put a couple wraps in, make sure we're still good. Yeah, we're still good. And then we're going to wrap it all the way back to the bend of the hook, and make sure that it's remaining on top of the shank. And there we go. Alright, so we're going to bring the thread back, and what I want to do is I want to remove this material so it does not impede on the bead. Okay, so just bring it forward and bring some wraps, a couple wraps behind the bead, and then we're going to come back. And next what we want to do is we want to put in our silver wire. I'm going to put it on top of the shank and draw it back. I like to put a second wrap in it to kind of hold it down a little bit. And then we just want to make sure that that's behind the bead and it's secure. Okay, so now we're going to bring it back. Don't need touching wraps. Okay, from here what we're going to do is we're going to put in our OPAL tinsel. Again, I'm going to put in 2 wraps. Maybe just 1. This stuff's sensitive. And we just want it just behind the hook. Make sure we're going to be able to seat it down. And it's down. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to grab our tinsel and our wire and kind of hold them on the shank of the hook and secure them down the shank of the hook. Like so. We don't need touching wraps. And just bring it to the bend of the hook. Oops. And you can lift it up to see where you're going and try not to impede on the tail. So from here what we want to do is we want to bring the thread all the way back to the top, to the bead, I'm sorry. Next step, we're going to take our OPAL tinsel, and with overlapping wraps And essentially I just do half, about half a wrap over the other one on the going moving forward. And we're just going to go around the hook shank. Take your time. Be careful of the hook point because it will break this tinsel. And just slowly wrap it. Until you get to the bead of the hook. No, I meant, yep, to the bead. And you want to do the wraps somewhat tight, but not tight enough that you're bending the hook or breaking the tinsel. So from here we want to do some wraps to secure it. And I think we got it there. And I like to go front and back. There we go. One more just for good measure. Then we're going to come in and we're going to remove the opal tinsel. Okay. Now what we want to do is we want to take our silver wire and bring it forward. Got underneath some of the fibers. Okay, and we want to do spacing wraps. This is going to be difficult to see, but you can just kind of wing it just to build some ribs. And bring it forward all the way to the back of the bead. Okay, and so now we want to secure that in. And I like to go back and then come back to the alternate it, and now we can helicopter this off. Like so. Now at this point, if you want to add UV, this is where you would do it. The UV hardens the back of the opal and the silver wire, so trout can't rip it off the hook. It's preference. I don't do it. I just find that it's more of a hassle than needed. But it will preserve the fly. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to get some dubbing, and I'm just using a small fraction, and we're going to wrap it around our thread. Make sure it's nice and secure. Okay, got a little lip in there, and then we're going to just wrap it right behind the bead and kind of build it up. We want it kind of buggy and stringy like that, but just keep building it up. If you need to add more, you can. It kind of came undone on me, so we're just going to tie it back in. Okay, keep on wrapping, and then once you're complete, we're going to secure the thread and do several wraps behind the bead. Once you start seeing the red thread, go ahead and pull out your whip finisher and put in 4. Okay, secure it. And then again, give me another 4. And then remove the thread, and there we have the Rainbow Warrior. If you would like to add some UV resin behind the for that thread, you could do it as well. Just be careful not to get the dubbing, because it you want this buggy, this wiry look. Alright, this is Project Healing Waters. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, write us in the comments and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Thank you and have a great day.